Thanks everybody for joining us tonight. I'd like to call to order the Town of Palmyra Town Board meeting agenda for Monday, January 12th, 2026 at 6 p.m. at the Palmyra Town Hall, W1125 Highway 106, Palmyra, Wisconsin. Amended agenda as of 1:10, 3:30 p.m. to add item 4A and to change item 4 description from driveway agreement to the roadway agreement. Certification of compliance with open meeting laws.
Yes, the agenda was posted in compliance with statutes.
Okay, roll call.
Gajewski?
Here.
Martins?
Here. Pledge of allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. Approval of town board minutes of 10/6/25, 10/8/25, 10/16/25, 10/20/25, October 22nd, 25, November 8th, 25, and November 10th of 25.
Can we remove November 10th? I don't have those done.
Sure. Do we need a motion or anything to remove it?
I just move to approve the minutes to the 11th.
I make a motion to approve the town board minutes from 10/6/25 through 11/8 of 25.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? Motion carries. Approve payment of bills as presented.
Palmyra Airport, $45,000. Dempsey Law Firm, $1,347. Harrison Williams McDonald, $4,640. Jefferson County Treasurer, $3.72. GFL Environmental, $10,503.75. Quill, $118.15. Lang Enterprises, $507.28. Michelle Smith, $619.91. Rob Martins, $369.40. Josh Gajewski, $230.87. Humane Society of Jefferson County, $3,308.85. Village of Palmyra, $94,198. Leslie Ott, $53.80. Internal Revenue Service, $2,029.55. Northwest Services, $54,083.75. Jefferson County Highway Department, $1,664.99. Michelle Smith, $3,329.22. Kamenik Law Office LLC and Wisconsin Transparency Project, $35,697.55. Bright Speed Internet Service, $195.13. We Energies, $65.57. And We Energies, $370.59.
I move to approve the bills as read.
Seconded. All in favor say aye. I'm sorry, roll call.
Gajewski?
Aye.
Martins?
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Any public comment at all over there? No?
Area 1.
Okay. Anybody?
It's all here for a good time.
Going once, going twice. Wow, okay, we'll move on. Thank you. Okay, correspondence?
Nothing out of the ordinary.
Okay, we'll move on to reports. Treasurer?
Checking account balance is $158,330.18. The tax account balance is $1,517,090. Airport checking account balance is $21,419.42. And the local government investment pool balance is $92,624.14.
Clerk?
Just for your information, there is not a primary needed for February, so there will be no election. And then also, we have had a poll worker retire. Kay Demler has informed me that she is retiring from being a poll worker.
Highway, Bob? Or, yeah, Bob.
Any questions for me?
Any questions? I don't have any. Anybody? Okay. Yeah, you have it.
That should be in
Nobody's cracked.
This is a wild night.
Just a radar note for springtime, definitely not worth addressing right now, but the shoulder on Tamarack that was repaved, the section that was repaved last year, there's, I think, a little bit of soft shoulder was going on with that first snowfall. We're probably gonna have to de-wind road gravel that's in that
An
first
issue.
500.
Oh, yeah.
I know.
One or two little pushes where the ground actually froze, and there's only 2 inches of frost on the ground right now, so we gotta do some cleanup just about everywhere.
Yeah.
Everybody's got the same problem, but.
It's just that first probably 500 yards as you leave the village. There's that steep hillside on the right hand. I guess it would be the west side of Tamarack, but
So springtime you're talking?
there's,
So we should probably do a road tour or something just to go through it.
Yeah.
I did note on Little Prairie that the shoulder we did actually hold up very, very well,
hopefully it stays frozen.
so that's a good thing.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it probably would have been really bad, you know, after we had all that rain and stuff, that just lose the shoulder, that would be bad, so.
Thanks, Bob.
And
I
then-
do, actually, I have one comment about Marsh Road, you know where you had your little incident with the snowplow across from Don Miller's?
Yeah.
There seems, I think the road itself might have a little divot in it. I was driving by and it was like, what is that? But I was already.
Is it where she got stuck?
Yeah, where she went into the ditch.
Yeah, I'm not sure I know exactly where it is, because I don't plow out here, but we can definitely go take a look at it and see what goes on there. I'm sure you guys are aware of it, I just want to reiterate, if you need any tree work done, time to do it, you can save 10% off of the bill, whatever that is. Whether you're gonna do it or not, just want to put that out there. And if there's any concerns about the plowing, or if you've got like a couple spots around the lake where I guess if they pick up some sod or whatever, we just need to know about it. And we'll clean up whatever needs to be done.
Yeah.
Right now, it's dry.
Yeah.
And it's, for the most part, stuff that's laying on top, so that's easy to clean up now, but, otherwise it'll be spring.
All you can do.
You know,
Yes, thanks, Bob.
Appreciate it.
Josh,
Have a good night, everybody.
anything else on highways and roads you wanna talk about?
Well, we had 2 different, jeez, excuse me. Speaking of trees, we had one go down out in Marsh, right across from Schmidt's house, and then, over the weekend, we had one on Pine Drive. Actually, not over the weekend, it was Friday of last week, so came out and did a 2-for-1 on that. Still waiting to hear more info from DOT on our application for LRIP funding. Don't have an answer on any of that yet. Aside from that, we don't have any money in 2026 budget for roads, so aside from patching and mowing and regular maintenance, that's probably gonna be about the scope of it for the time being.
Okay, thank you. Fire department?
Yes, sir. Just a quick, update, we ended, 2025, December with 13, fire and EMS calls, in the township. With a total of, 118, calls that we responded to in the town.
Anything else?
Nothing, no, I have no additional information, we're just getting ready for, full 2026, so.
Okay.
Anything else I can answer for you guys or bring back?
No, I think we're good. We've got, talk about the contract later.
Yep.
That's behind us, so.
Yeah.
Looking forward to good 2 years of coverage. So,
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
It's up to you whether continue staying. Airport, I don't have anything to report on. I've taken on the airport commission role, for the town. Nothing to report, and I don't think Al's here, so we'll move on there. Blue Spring Lake District meeting, or Blue Spring Lake District news. Obviously our sewer bills have gone out. I believe they've gone up from 175 to 200. At least that's what they were saying. I haven't been to the last couple Lake District meetings because they've coincided with either our meetings or the airport commission meetings. So hopefully I'll be at the next one in March. Other than that, I'm not sure if it's been a while, but I don't know if I ever mentioned that Jim Hockman is no longer, he decided not to run again for the Lake District presidency. So, Bauer, correct? Greg Bauer? No.
It's, Paul, can you ask? Yeah.
Oh, Paul Canestra. Yeah, sorry, and I apologize, Paul, if you're watching this video, I apologize for forgetting that. But we do have a new Lake District president, and that's pretty much the update there. Building inspector.
There was only one building, permit issued in December. It was an electrical, at a total cost of $265.
Okay, emergency management plan.
So, here,
Oh, hi.
they canceled the meeting because not enough people, responded, so they're sending out an email for next month.
Okay, anything else?
No.
Okay. And Sheriff's Department, I see they're represented well again, so no report there, so. That is it for the reports. Moving on to new business. Update, number one, update on the town village fire and EMS agreement for 26-27. As you heard me mention there, we did come to an agreement with the village on our fire and EMS contract. It's a 2-year contract covering all of calendar year 26 and all of calendar year 27. It came right down to the last minute, and there was a final issue that we were pushing for that wasn't, based on the village's comment, wasn't gonna happen. We just felt rather risking going incident by incident into January, we were better off going ahead and agreeing with the contract we had to that point, which, at least in my opinion, Josh can speak for himself on this, in my opinion, I think it is a good and adequate contract for the town. We did get several of the things that we wanted, that the prior contract did not have, including the population. It had been before, the fee was based on equalized value and number of calls, but we've gotten population added into that formula. So as the development proceeds out there, and which may be after our 2-year contract here, but at least we have it in the contract going forward. As that development happens, that'll change the equation on that side of it, at least in our favor, unless the town suddenly grows a lot as well. So that was, we also got an agreement in writing in the contract that the village board and the town board will jointly meet with other districts to talk about the best path for sustainability for the district fire, or the department fire and EMS. Doesn't mean we're going to co-op with anybody else. It just means we're gonna do our due diligence with them and meet. And what's gonna happen is the village is gonna have 1 member, the town will have 1 member, and the public safety director, Paul, will be on that committee as well. So there'll be 3 members to it. And that, we have to have our first meeting by March first. And that'll probably, I'm sure that's just gonna be the 3 members getting together, just to lay out how it's gonna be approached. And 2 years is gonna go by fast. So we have to start this early, because we can't just switch how things go in 3 months. Okay, especially if the due diligence reflects and says that we should co-op with another district, that transition takes time. And that's why we're starting it almost immediately. So that's where we're at on that. Am I missing any of the added benefits we got in the contract?
No, I think those are generally the 2 primary biggest ones to me. It's not really a committee, quote unquote. It's obviously an appointed person from each board and the public safety director. I'm hopeful that continues the discord that we've had with the village and trying to move things forward and look well beyond just the next 2-year period of time as far as sustainability, both staffing, financially, service area, all that kind of thing. So I'm hopeful that if that's the only benefit that we end up with, is that pays dividends numerous times over.
Right, and we did see a significant increase in the cost from $250,000 in 25 up to $375 in 2026 or 2026. But surveying all local, not local, but other districts around us, everybody has seen significant increases. Costs are just skyrocketing. And we actually ended up about $100,000 less than what they were actually asking us for up front. So they did sharpen their pencil and cut some costs, which helped the number and stuff. So I hate to say this, but it is what it is. I mean, at this point, we did, however, achieve, and I did forget to mention this one. The village wanted 27 to be open-ended, because they said, we don't know what our costs are. We said that's not viable for us. So we did ultimately agree to a 10% cap on any increase, with some wording in there that says if it goes above that, we have to talk about it between the 2. But there is a 10% cap plus potentially any negotiated amount, but that will be a very tough discussion for us. Not for us, but together with the village. That would be a tough sell. But it is there, so we will obviously honor that and have any discussions they want. Hopefully, costs don't go up more than that, but we'll have to wait and see. So overall, I think it was a fair contract for us. I think any good and decent contract is one both sides walk away from not fully satisfied. So do we have any questions on the fire EMS contract?
Congratulations.
Oh, thanks. It was a long slog to get there. Many meetings. Anything else?
Is the actual contract, we could get copies of that, please send her an email.
You know that it's a public record, so feel free to request it through our clerk's office.
But to answer your question, yes. Okay then, number 2, discussion regarding Oakland Town Board Chairman position and possible appointment of Town Board Chairperson.
Well, unless anything's changed in the last 48 hours, I'm assuming we had 0 outside interest. Email in and fully request that they take on this duty.
You are correct,
okay.
for me anyway.
Yes. We've got people interested, but not in the chairmanship.
So again, it's down to either we find somebody out of the blue who doesn't want to do it, or one of us steps up to the plate. Not it. I would move to appoint Rob Martins as the town chairman through April 2027.
I could really mess this up like that.
Yes, you
Not second it.
Just
I'll second it. Second.
Can we second that?
Is this a roll call vote, I guess?
Mhm.
So our clerk actually votes on this. I
Correct,
think, like
correct.
one of two only things ever, right?
That's correct.
Can I abstain?
Roll call vote.
Only if you go last.
We'll do it this way. Smith, aye. Gieske,
Aye.
Martins.
No, I abstain, no. Aye. Motion passes.
All right.
Thank you, everybody.
Good luck.
Question, then after that, then you have other people interested to build a third chair, or what?
How is this written? It's got to be written on.
Chairman only.
It's only,
Oh.
we can't, we wrote it as
Okay.
only the
Fine.
chair, so. And we can't do, we cannot do both in the same meeting. So we'll have to wait till the next meeting to take any action. But like I said earlier, yes, there were a couple of people.
Okay.
Okay. Update and possible discussion regarding 2026 reassessment. Do we want to talk about that tonight?
If you want, just very brief opening information during tax collection time. Had some people ask questions of me about the revaluation. They had heard revaluation, so just to re-clarify what was stated at budget, public hearing for the budget is that we are doing a revaluation in 2026 for tax year 26 to be paid in 27. So that's first and foremost. Number two, it is a market update revaluation. It is not a walkthrough, which is what it sounds like, and it is not a walk around, which is also what it sounds like. It is a market update, so it's a sale comparison versus our community. They use community sales, no different than they do for a lot of the other types of revaluations. So that does require that the town send out a notice when the revaluation process starts, so to speak. So everybody who owns property in the town is going to get a notice that a revaluation is underway, and all the pertinent dates that go along with order review, if there's appeals, the whole process. Different than what some folks may have experienced in the past is that our board of review is typically in the spring, and the board of review at this point is anticipated to be near the fall of this year. There's a specific reason behind that. We are in the last year of compliance for the Department of Revenue, which means this year was the last year that we had an opportunity to do the reval on our terms. Because of that, the state Department of Revenue sets a annual increase. If you notice on your tax bill that there's an equalized value that goes along with a percentage of your assessment, that percentage is what the DOR sets every single year. So that report comes out in August. And what we want to make sure is that the revaluation data that the assessors have come up with all of the property records and all the other things at that point matches the DOR's annual increase, so that when we actually get the revaluation done, we land within compliance, because it has happened with as wonky as real estate is these days, where someone who has done a revaluation instantaneously the next year's goes out of compliance by the 10% because they did an early assessment or early reval. UR's report came out August and they went back outside of 10%. So anybody playing at home, that is tentatively the schedule. Aside from that, I don't have a schedule as far as when they're going to start, when notices go out, but this is a 10,000 foot look to begin with anyways.
Thanks for that explanation, that helps me. Any questions on that?
How does that relate to open book? Is there any effect one way or the other?
It's going to be sequenced, synchronous and sequenced. So instead of open book being in the spring, board review, the whole series is gonna be probably September, October.
And they'll have enough time to get it completed.
They have to. So yes,
If they don't, does that fall on them or us?
them at this point, because we contracted with them over a year ago,
All right, anything else on,
year and a half ago. at this
anything
point.
else on the reassessment? Okay. Or discussion and possible action, direction regarding Stone Elephant roadway agreement and right-of-way permit.
Want me to take that?
Sure.
Two different items, same project. Stone Elephant again is the Tower Road small solar project. Part of the excuse me. Part of what we as a town board recommended to the county, which was indeed adopted by the county zoning board, were all of the community specific stipulations, so to speak, regarding that project. And all, I don't know, I think I had a 9.5 minute long motion that night. One of those items was a road use agreement, that they come to an agreement with the town for their use of our roads, quote unquote, to be able to access the project site. So two things related is the right-of-way permit. It has been submitted, I think last week, I want to say, from the solar company, which in my mind means that the roadway agreement is right behind it. From us needing to address it in the big picture of things, there was a draft road use agreement that was emailed to the board for review, and I want to start that conversation now, I guess, in the hope that we are not the ones holding up the start of their project as the spring rolls in here. So kind of a formality. The right-of-way permit is something that is the highway supervisor have reviewed and issued, whether it's conditioned or just straight away. The right-of-way use permit, which in this case is going to be for them to install a driveway on Tower Road. I'm going to call it on the east side, whichever direction it technically is, but on the east side of Tower Road. I need to coordinate with the building and zoning side of our inspection. Tom Marks, over the last month or two here, dug into the town's ordinances, and we actually do have a formal driveway permit process that is supposed to be issued through the building inspector. I don't believe in at least, definitely not 3 years, probably more like 15 to 20, because some of our local historians didn't remember doing it either. That single family, commercial, whatever it ends up being, needs a driveway permit so that we don't have an issue like what we ended up with on South Shore Drive last year, with culvert put in and roads washing out and all that kind of fun stuff. So to me, this is kind of the first pass at the roadway agreement. I did have a red line draft through the building and zoning side of the project review, and for whatever reason, of course, I had no idea where I saved it. But I think we need to make sure that any amendments that are requested be included at least on an agenda item in February, so that we can approve that, so that by May they can start their permitting. More than likely, it's probably going to be more like May when they start construction, just because of ground and everything else. But I think that would be a solid target for us to shoot at. Hopefully you did get the email copy of the agreement. If there's,
I did, but I haven't had a chance to look at it.
yeah, no, that's fine. At this point, I guess I would say that the right-of-way permit, we continue to follow our historic practice, and I'll review it, condition it. Michelle gets copies of those so that the town has them in perpetuity, and table the actual agreement. If you've got red lines and you want to either send them to Jonathan for legal review ahead of time, or for us to come back in February and hopefully just wrap the whole thing up and then have them look at it one time in February, would be my suggestion at this point.
Yeah, obviously I'll take a look at it, but I have two questions. Well, actually, it's one question, both of them combined. My issue with this whole thing was, as far as going forward, a total agreement on even the roadway agreement. My issues that were safety. With that turn there and that hill coming down, that's, they're gonna be bringing large trucks, potential 18-wheelers in there. Does the agreement include how they're gonna handle that? And what they're gonna do from a, I don't know if they're gonna put, when the trucks are coming in, if they're gonna put people out there on the road before the hill, around the corner, flag people out there. So they're just, they say they're just gonna put signage up. We know how signage works out there, not very well.
Yeah.
So have they addressed
At
that?
least not speed limit signage does.
Well, that's right.
A lot of it is related to, I'm gonna call it pre-work condition assessment, whatever signage would go up during the project, and then post-construction reassessment of the road to see what kind of condition, make sure that nothing they did damaged it more than it already started as, keep a bond in place, that type of thing. As far as specifics like that, I would have to read back through this to see if there's a requirement.
And I'll
for
read
them
it,
to have.
and I'll read it, I'll bring up any issues if I see them. One question for you, is there an alternative? The Tower Road goes from Little Prairie, and I'm not, what does it end up at Young? Where does Tower Road?
Yes, yeah.
Is it possible to bring them in from Young to Tower Road because it's less traveled than Little Prairie?
Yeah, so one quick update from where we left things off, I guess, when they were here for the actual approval is between the time that they left the town and went to the county zoning board, they had a traffic engineer look at, because we were trying to do shortest route, so Highway 67 to, I'm gonna call it Palmyra Road, to Little Prairie, and then to Tower, to try to stave off that way. Because of the alignment of Tower Road to Little Prairie Road, if you're going northbound or to the village, that truck movement is almost impossible, and it's definitely
You're coming downhill and you have to make it's not a 90 degree, it's back up the other way.
It's 100, yeah, it's like 130 degree back turn. So Julie had emailed me the two exhibits that they had, just showing the truck movements, and I said, talk to the village, because the other alternative, and this is where we get into kind of that jurisdictional issue, is that the village has every road in the village except for state and county highways posted as no truck traffic. And because technically in this case they would be through truck traffic because they're not stopping anywhere in the village, Julie reached out, talked with Public Works for the village, and they more or less said annex trucks are in and out that way all the time. Plus, quote unquote, you guys let truck traffic come off of 67 anyways, air quotes, right? Because I do have a mechanical arm out there that lets the semis come through. But in any event,
I thought that was you.
yeah, it's my Saturday truck. In any event, informally, the village has essentially nodded and said yes. Coming down 3rd Street to get to Tower Road is probably the safest maneuver one way or the other for trucks. And again, we're talking probably a week period during this project and a week period towards the end of the project where they're really mobilizing and then demobilizing from the site. So the route would be 3rd Street to Little Prairie Road to Tower, and then back out Tower.
Yeah, at least
to
they're not
Little
making
Prairie.
that.
Yeah.
140
So
degrees.
at the same point in time, kind of in about the same area,